I'm TJ Tate. I'm the Director of Sustainability for Gulf Wild. We're a nonprofit that was designed for fishermen, by fishermen, and we're all about what we say is seafood with certainty and boots on the deck change. We began with Gulf Wild, working with our fishermen to figure out how we could make a difference with seafood fraud, with conservation efforts, with innovation on the water. It took a little bit of trust building. Why do I want to put a video camera on their boat? Most of them said, whoa, I don't want Big Brother. Now Big Brother is helping them fish in other areas or manage their bycatch, give us the ability to sell their bycatch, different things that they couldn't do before. Those are big ifs when you're talking about a commercial fisherman who doesn't want to really change his habits because he wants to catch his fish, he wants to make his money, get it to you, the end consumer, and life's good. He's got a paycheck. But now he's getting a paycheck and being a real conservationist or citizen scientist, as some people like to call them. And they're feeling good about it. The captains have a sheet on their boats. As they go out fishing, they start a log for their fishing trips, very similar to their fishing logs that they have to keep for management purposes. When they arrive back to the dock, they are met by a Gulf Wild staff member. That staff member does what we call a landing interview. So he or she goes up to the captain and asks all those pertinent questions and double checks the facts. Where were you? When were you? How was it caught? What kind of gear were you using? How many crew members did you have? All that kind of good information. And that person then works with a team and helps the captain tag all the fish that are coming off. That's what Gulf Wild does. It starts with a simple little tag on every fish that we catch, and we call it the Social Security number. And that Social Security number is the identifier for that tag all the way till it ends up on your plate. So we started off just primarily tagging red snapper, red grouper. Those are our key species in the Gulf of Mexico. Now we tag red grouper, red snapper, 19 different species all together in the grouper tilefish complex, plus 20 different kinds of bycatch. So what we've done is be able to apply all those data collection processes to underutilized species that before our captains would throw back. And now everybody wants it. And so the fishermen are keeping it. We're collecting a database, which is helping the management of the fishery. And the consumer's getting some really good fish that they've never had before, maybe like a porgy. What we have to be very careful of is that we don't want to drive demand. I think the hope of sustainability of seafood has to do with all the right factors coming together at the right time. People are very impassioned about the word sustainability. It means that there's going to be change, and it's going to be good change, as long as it's change that is well taken care of. And by that, I mean, you can't just go willy-nilly and say, sustainability is the be-all, end-all of the seafood world without managing it somewhat. You have to have sound science. You have to have good management. Gulf Wild is a very small nonprofit. It was started by fishermen, for fishermen, and it's grown to something that's by fishermen, for the consumer. And that's what we always have to remember. The seafood supply chain starts with the fisherman and ends with the consumer. And then we have to connect those dots all in between. And as long as all of us in this seafood industry keep that in mind, then I think the sustainability of the seafood industry, it's got no limits.